Welcome to the Level Up Podcast. Our goal is that by listening to our podcast, you will be inspired to level up. With the help of some amazing guests, we'll be inspired by some inspirational success stories and find out how you can level up your business, your life, and your relationship with yourself. Because I know that by leveling up and balancing these three aspects of your life, you can make a difference and impact the lives around you. Level Up Podcast will be a series of interviews featuring successful professionals who are making a mark and a difference in their lives and others. They will share their incredible stories of how they did it, so you can be inspired and learn from the very best.
Welcome, Sandy Hernandez to the podcast of Berta Carmona, Level Up. Today, I'm super excited and happy to have you. It's an honor. I know you're an extremely busy businesswoman, and taking the time today to be with me today, it's an honor. So thank you for taking the time today. I'm excited to dive in and just get to know who she is and what she's been doing and what she's been up to. So get ready. You're gonna take so much today through the process of this short interview that we're gonna have with Sandy Hernandez. So Sandy, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Berta, for having me on. It's such a privilege and honor, to be asked to be on your show, I thank you very much also, and I'm very excited. I'm really excited to be here so we can chat, and learn from each other, and grow together. So let's do it.
Grow together. That's the part that I love the most. I think we're all in this business to learn from each other, to help each other out and learn. There's so much that we can, utilize from each other. Being in the business for as long as you have and as long as I have, I think it's great to, collaborate and just interact with each other and just hold the space and being able to get to know each other a little bit more. But for our audience, would you please tell us, where is Sandy from, where she was born, where she was living now, or what is she at right now? I know that I was reading some of your bio and I was so impressed, but I'm going to let you give us a little bit of Sandy.
Thank you, Berta. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to tell you everything. I will not disclose my social security number.
We will be totally fine without knowing your social. Don't worry.
Well, my full name is, full disclosure, my full real name is Sandy. Not like a lot of people think it's Sandra, but no, it's Sandy. Sandy Angie Hernandez, right? I'm from Los Angeles. I was born in Los Angeles, but obviously, my family is all from Mexico, right? From Jalisco. So my first generation here in this country, right? Okay. And being first generation here in this country, there's a lot of load comes with it. First generation here, it's really difficult because, all of our family, like our family lines and everything, they kind of put a lot of weight on the first gen kids, right? So, but it's been great. My office is here in Bloomington, California. We've been here since 2005. So what is that? Like 17 years?
17 years. God,
17
amazing.
years, God has blessed us with this office, to be able to be here. We survived, the market crash, the first market crash in 07, 08. That by the grace of God, we're still here. I don't even know how, but
You made it.
We made it,
Yes.
Definitely humbling experience. And it really, that time really, really shaped myself as a business person and really shaped me onto the way I do business today, because it really definitely opened your eyes and humbled me at a very young age, right? To be here. And it's been, it's been fun, but it definitely has not been easy. It's definitely been a school of trial and error. And what I like to tell people all the time out there is, find mentors, because at that time, you're so young sometimes that you start in this business and everything seems like I know it all type thing, And a lot of times because of that, we fall on our faces a lot.
Yes.
So had I had the tools that I have now, then maybe
Mm-hmm.
it would have been a little different. But because of the unknown and things like that
Right.
nature, we had to go through that. But I will tell you one thing: I never really wanted to do real estate first.
I was going to ask you, how do you get into it? Because again, you've
No,
been in the business for long
no,
now, but how do you get into it? I was reading something, but please share with us. How do you
no.
got exposed to real estate and how do you ended up in real estate?
So it's a funny story. So I was going to Cal State San Bernardino to get my bachelor's degree, right?
Okay.
My mom had always mentioned bienes y raíces, right? She would
Mm-hmm.
my mom, since I was 5 years old, I remember selling in the swap meet. Okay.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
sold in the swap meets since I was 5, and I remember hating weekends because for most kids, weekends you sleep in late, and for me, weekends it was like
Get it
go
up
time,
earlier.
get up earlier. But I had swap meet, and I hated
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, uh, my mom would always say, si hubiera bienes y raíces en español, I would love to do that.
Mm.
But I never knew what it was. I would just
Oh,
kind of hear
wow.
it.
Here. Yeah, yeah.
But one time I was driving home from school and I saw a sign that said, Bienes y raíces en español, damos clases.
Wow.
So what I did, I was like, oh my God, that's what my mom has always been wanting to do.
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm,
took down the number and I gave it to my mom. Needless to say, she called. And a week later, she was started to
wow.
go to these classes, right? And she
Classes.
was so excited. And she's like, I learned this and I learned that and blah, 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 right? So about a month later, the owner there told my mom, you know what? My front desk girl is going to go into the processing center. Do you think processing department? Do you think that your daughter would want to just kind of come in and work a few hours or whatever? So my mom asked me, and I said, well, if it's a few hours, yes, because I'm going to school. Yeah.
Still in school. Yes, yes.
So anyway, I go in there not knowing what real estate was. I did not know a thing. So they kind of started teaching me, and I started kind of getting the hang of it. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
this is cool. This is cool. Anyway, a few months later, I'm in the processing department. So that's how I started. I started doing loan. I
Wow.
started doing
That's, I was gonna ask you, I saw that on your bio and I'm like interesting. So she started on the lending side
doing
and then
loans.
transition into the real
Yes.
estate.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
and so I at there I met my first partner, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
we opened up an office together, right? An office
Wow.
together in
Okay.
Grand Terrace. So I didn't start here in Bloomington. Actually, we opened up
You
our first
started.
office in Grand Terrace, right?
Okay.
A lot of the we he started recruiting agents, and all the agents would kind
Mm-hmm.
of call me for everything. Anyway,
Right, right.
we were there 1 year waiting for this current office to open because this
Oh,
was a
okay.
new building, right?
Got it.
So the year came and we got the keys, we signed the lease, we got the keys and everything. In a few days, and remember, I wasn't the owner. I was my partner's right hand only, right?
Oh, okay, okay. So we
So
were helping.
yeah, I was just helping him. I would do everything for him and everything, right? So a few
Got it.
days later, guess what he tells me? He says, Sandy, he didn't even show up. He never showed up here, ever. He
Wow.
basically just called me and said, I can't do this anymore. I don't want that. The business is yours type thing.
Wow. What a
I am
interesting story.
maybe I am maybe like 23 years old at that time when this happened. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, what do we do? We have loans in the pipeline. My
Right.
mom is one of the agents that works there. Like, do I just close and leave all these people hanging? Or do we
Hanging,
just
right?
figure it out? So
So that was a turning point. Tell me, what was that like? Because I can only imagine being 23, again, being in the business now for a while, but not knowing that now it's all on you.
yeah, so now I'm like, okay, so how do I figure things out? And so that's where it kind of started. Well, first of all, I had to find a broker. Okay, I had to find a
Okay.
broker that would basically
Allow
sponsor
you to,
me
yeah,
and
to hang
to
your
have
license
an
with.
office. Now I had an office
Mm-hmm.
and everything, but I had no broker. So I was like, okay, so how does that happen? So I started kind of like just kind of learning things on my
Learning.
own because I never really had an in-house broker. He just basically sponsored his license. So I really didn't know how to do anything, but I did know that the agents really relied on me. And these people were all people like my mother, that were looking for a career change. They were older Latinos that didn't speak English, so they would rely on me to translate everything and kind of do. So it was a big load at that time.
Yes, responsibility, feeling.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
At a very young age. But in the back of my mind, I was like, "But what am I going to do when I leave?
I get chills because you know what happens a lot of times we get put in this position. I honestly always believe that it's God. God puts us in a position where we need to just, step up and do what is needed to be done because and somebody needs to do it. And if He puts you in that spot, it's because He knew you could do it and you needed to guide and help those people around you.
And help those people, yeah. And I didn't notice it then. I didn't notice it then. What I noticed, Bertha? It was when I was hired by U.S. Customs. I was going to be one of those migras at the Border Patrol. I was hired.
Oh,
I didn't go. I didn't go because I missed I rejected the offers that they made me because that week I was graduated. So anyway, I rejected it. When I tried to go back, something would always happen. Like either I missed my appointment or something would always happen. And I had this conversation with my dad and I said, Dad, would you still be proud of me if I stay here and not do something with my career? He's like, look, I will be proud of you if whatever you do in life, do 150%.
That's amazing.
And that's when it clicked.
That's amazing.
That's when it clicked that this is where I needed to be. Yeah. That the reason why God had put me here was because this was my purpose in life. Right?
Yes.
My purpose in life. He had me in this little town, Bloomington, that no one knows till this.
Right. But it's right there. It's a hidden miss. People always said it's Fontana, but it's not Fontana, and it's not Riverside because it's past Riverside.
Yes, it's not. It's nothing. It's none of those. So I always tell people, just think Fontana. Don't worry about it. Just think Fontana. So
that is so interesting.
Divine intervention, and I believe that things happen for a reason. And they always tell me, "Why don't you go to Rancho?" I'm like, why am I going to go to Rancho if there's a lot of need here in Bloomington?
Yes.
So forward, I dedicate and it seems that I've catered to Latino agents that are my office.
Okay.
Just like my mom. My motto is, if my mom was given an opportunity, right?
How do I want them to be treated?
With no background, with no type of administrative background or career or nothing, and my mom was able to leave the swamp meet, which is a lot of hard work in the heat, in the rain. She was given the opportunity. My doors are always open to be able to give that opportunity again to that agent that has no type of background in this, but yet wants to better their life,
Right. That's amazing, Sandy. That is a
17
beautiful
years later.
story. So how did you transition from the lending to the real estate? It was just given because you felt you needed to just concentrate on your realtor. So how did that happen? Tell me a little bit about that part.
This is what happened. So when I made the transition, it was also very quick because the lady I had a lady that used to work here in the office, right? And she was the one that was kind of like taking all the agents by her wing, like submitting their offers and stuff.
Okay.
She would kind of, obviously with a commission, she would take care of that. But then this lady left to Mexico. And I'm like, again.
That's good.
So, but this is after the market had crashed, and there was no sales, but somebody had to be here with a license that the boss had to have. So that's when I transitioned over to the real estate side. And then 4 years later, my broker decides that he was going to retire, and there was no more broker license. So this is what Sandy had to go do.
Go get her license.
Broker license. And so
again, put in the position where you have to level up, where you have to show up for your people, where you have to take care of them, and that's what it's all about. I feel like like you were saying, I agree with you 1,000%. We get put in positions where sometimes the only option is for us to level up and just do what it needs to be done. so we can continue, helping our community, helping our people. And I love the fact that you concentrate 100% on the Hispanics, because like you said, and we talked a little bit about this, but we're going to bring it up again, that there is so much need on our communities that, they do want, like you said, better themselves, better their careers. But a lot of times there is not enough people willing to help them.
Yeah.
The test is in English. Yes, they need to take their classes. But if we can have people like you that take the time to educate them, to guide them, to take them by their hand and show them how to do this, they can be, look at our market. It's just amazing how many homes are going to be sold to the Hispanic. Our market share is huge. And yeah, we don't have enough representation. it's just crazy to think about the numbers.
I'm totally with you. I feel that there's a lot of need. I learned that, especially through the market crash. That's when it really hit me that our Latino community needed a lot of help. They needed that support, that resource. We still, up until it's 2022, and we still lack that resource.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I wanted to ask you. What were the resources that you felt that you had when you started on your career? Even though you said there was all these changes going on, but I'm sure there was a place or there was somewhere where you felt that you needed to, or you felt that you can go to and get answers or find their answers for your clients or for your agents. Was it that you have access to a lot of resources? You had to become resourceful. What was it like?
Yes, that was it. I had to become resourceful because I didn't really know where to go. I never worked at another real estate company. This is all I know. This scenario is all I know. So everything that I did had to come from either I read it or I researched it or I called the DRE or the broker that would sponsor me. I would call him occasionally to ask him stuff, but other than that, I had to become that resource and figure stuff out for my agents. A lot of times, in the market crash, there was no money coming in, for example. And I had to figure out how to do loan modifications. How did you do, because we needed something to survive. How to do short sales. And by me learning it, I can teach it to my people so that they can survive too. So it's been that type of
becoming resourceful has been one of your traits. I can imagine just finding ways and not allowing yourself to just, stagnate and just.
No. I've always told them, like, I might not be the most resourceful, but believe me, I will not let you sink.
Well, go find the answer.
Together. Yeah. And if I don't know the answers, I will point you to where the answers are at.
What the answer could be.
Don't have the answers, and it's okay not to have the answers, it's okay. It's okay to tell people.
And I think it goes hand by hand, because a lot of times some people tend to, believe that they have all the answers, but they don't. And, like in my industry, the lending side, I always tell my agents, like you said, I might not know the answer, but I know where I can go find the answers, whether the guidelines, whether the underwriting managers, I'll go wherever I need to go to, but we'll find the answer or we'll find a solution if there is one. And there's always has to be, I believe, that type of attitude of wanting to help first and then finding ways to help them by looking for the solution. So that's amazing. And definitely during the market crash, I think all of us had to become very resourceful and just find ways, because I was there. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So tell me, what keeps you motivated to keep going?
Wow.
When we have those days, like I had one this morning, I was rushing and trying to get, I'm like, what am I going to, I need to be on time. But I know we all have those days. So what Sandy does to keep herself going when you have those days? What keeps you motivated to keep going?
Yes. You know what? It's very difficult. What we do, what you and I do, requires self-motivating and self-pumping up. And, you've got this, you can do it. But there's days that not even that works. There's days that not even that works, right? So what really keeps me on my toes, Berta, is that for me, number one, I am a first generation here, right? So that for me, I'm like, no, Like there's no room to snooze. My parents didn't come to this country, right?
Right.
To
Reminding yourself then that, they came here. Now the least I can do is get up and go and do what I need to get done.
Yes. Because
Beautiful.
why? Because I need to be the person that leaves a legacy or build wealth for her family. That's a lot of stuff that, us as Latinos, we don't get taught to do, and so I want to be, I don't want to, I'm going to be, and I need to be that person that leaves something for our family, leaves a mark, in this country or whatever. So that keeps me always like kind of thinking, I want to provide my family a lifestyle or a life that they never even dream of having, or even myself, I always tell myself, like, my mom will never go back to the swap meet, or still at the swap meet, like I remind myself of all this. And obviously my team keeps me on my toes, like every day.
Amazing.
That I want to show up. I'm like, there's people
They're counting on me. Yes. They're counting on you being there. So accountability again brings us back to what we need to do.
Yeah, the accountability, and it's crazy how sometimes people don't know how much they do for you. Like my team probably feels that I'm the team leader and that I do for them, but they do as much for me as I do to them, because by them showing up here, it keeps me accountable and it keeps me wanting to move forward.
Absolutely. And I think as a leader, you have to have that. Otherwise, how can you leave somebody to do something if you're not doing it yourself? Yeah, I believe that the best leader is that one that shows by example and guides by being there, showing up, going through the motions, going through those days, and still show up for them and for their team. Yeah, definitely.
This way, it's from the door this way, the tears are gone, the anger's gone. In here, and nothing happens.
So I had a mentor, and I'm going to share this with you. He used to call Disneyland. He said the minute you walk through the door is Disneyland. It's a Mickey Mouse is never upset. He's never mad. He's never unhappy. You always see him with a smile on his face. So the minute you walk through the door is Disneyland. We act like there's nothing going on with us.
Nothing going on. There's nothing,
no drama, no problems, no nothing.
Although our business is a roller coaster.
Absolutely. But again,
call makes you smile, the next call makes you very angry, But nonetheless, you have to forget about it and put a big smile in your face.
Right. Mickey Mouse is smiling all the time. Have you ever seen a picture of Mickey Mouse not smiling? So he used to remind me that all the time. So let me ask you, Sandy. Yes, it's beautiful. Let me ask you, do you have and I know most people do, but I wanted to ask you, do you have that morning routine, that set schedule that you do every day that gets you, again, ready for the day? Do you have anything like that you like to share with us?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me.
100%. I work out. I wake up at 5:00. Well, 4:45 in the morning.
Beautiful. Okay.
I have a fitness coach, right?
Oh,
and I do
okay.
For accountability, because if I didn't have a coach, I would not show up.
Right. Going back to the accountability, yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So I have a coach. She waits for me. She's great. She texts me or calls me, like, "Are you coming? Where are you at?" And I'm like, and as I'm driving to the gym, I always question my life decisions. Oh, why are you doing this, Sandy? Do you really need to go through this? But nonetheless, when I'm done, I feel accomplished, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I do that. And as I'm driving to the gym, I'm Christian. I consider myself Christian. And I listen to the word as I'm going to the gym, to wake me up. I listen to the word because, my relationship with God is very important.
So important.
Without God,
Absolutely.
we're nothing.
So,
absolutely. We're doing that. And then I work out. I come back home. I read. I affirm. I have affirmations.
Affirmations? Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay.
I believe in affirmations 1,000%. And I think that just speaking gratitude automatically fills your heart and puts you in a better mood. So I do that, and then I kind of just go through my schedule to see what I have to do today. What am I going to do today? What can be done today? What did I not do yesterday that I can do today. So
Yeah.
that's my morning routine. So typically,
What's typically the time you get to the office?
So typically I'll get to the office. I'll do a lot. So what I do is I do a lot of work at home. I try to do all my personal emails at home. That way, when I
Okay.
get to the office, I'm relieved from that and I'm open to whatever questions anybody has, right? So I'll get to my office about 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'll get to my office at 10, but I'm working from like 8 o'clock to like 9:30 at my house, right? So that I can kind of get the day started, get ahead on my personal stuff, because it's hard to be a producing broker. You know, I'm still a producing broker that I still rely on my personal production and things of that nature. So, but when I'm here, I like to dedicate my time and energy to my team.
To your team. That's beautiful. So that's amazing because again, at the end of the day, that like you said, I'm a producing manager. So again, we have our personal production, and then you still have to be able to be available for your team for any questions, any stuff that come up throughout the day that they need your help, guidance, or they just need, your set of eyes to look at things and just give your input. So that's amazing. So you and I share that. That's great.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you another thing. As a leader, what are the things that you see nowadays with, and again, do you have a lot of new agents? You work with a lot of new agents, or most of your agents are seasoned agents that have been around?
So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I have a real estate school. So
that's the reason I'm asking, because I saw something in there about the real estate stuff. That you work with a lot of new agents, because I feel like being and done what you've done, Sandy, it will be, and I'm sure you're probably doing it, but I want you to share with us. Amazing to be able to share with those new agents and help them maybe, avoid some of the mistakes we made, coming in, not knowing or not having the guidance, and allowing them to, again, get a step ahead and just do the right things since the beginning, so they don't have to go through the errors and trials that we did. So tell me a little about your school, and tell me a little bit about how do you work with those new agents.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so I have a school. I help them get licensed, right? So and then once they get licensed, we transition them over. I mean, not everybody, but whoever wants to stay with my brokerage is more than welcome to get merged into my brokerage, right? We speak to them. And one thing with the new agents that I always tell them, like the first things first. First things, we need to work on mindset. That's number one.
Right. Yes.
Number one, because to work in this industry, we're going to deal a lot with bad days, good days, a lot of rejection, a lot of, and you have to be able to take all of these things, and you need patience. Most of all, it's patience, right? You have to understand that this is not built overnight, and this is literally a business of survival of the fittest, right? If you're able to stick to it and do it, right, this business will definitely pay you back great dividends, and it'll be great to you. But you also have to be good to it, right? So I tell them, like, mindset is key. Mindset is key, right? I always tell them to start working on your database. From the beginning, you need to start having your database, because your database is your store. That's your inventory. And I see a lot of people that write on notebooks and stuff like that, and I always tell them, like, get your CRM.
What happens to that notebook if it gets lost in the car? You drop it somewhere and it's all gone, right? So get it somewhere where you have access to all the time.
All the time, your CRM, because let's just say 20 years from now, you want to retire. That CRM it's your business, right? So you need to take care of it to the T. And then lastly, I tell them, look, a lot of people come into our industry with false thinking. They think that this business they just come into it for the wrong reasons too, because they think that I'm going to come and I'm basically like a money tree is going to grow. And
money is going to come so quickly. I'm just going to show up and it's going to be there, right?
Yes, no. Absolutely not. I tell them, if you have that mentality, then this business is not for you.
Not for you.
I'm going to tell you why. Because if you treat every transaction for just the money, you will never have a real relationship with clients.
Absolutely.
And what keeps their business alive is relationships, right?
Oh, my God.
Always have a mentality of a servant. You need to be a servant leader. Once you become a servant leader, like everything just falls on you, like, like the cherry on
Things will
top.
come in.
So
Absolutely.
if you
So
have
I
that,
got three things. I had three things. You said mindset, and you
Mhm.
said CRM. And then the last one is be of service. Always think of doing this business because you love to service our community, our clients,
exactly,
educate them, and not for the
exactly.
money. It's not a quick getting rich
No,
quick
it's
type
not
of
get rich
business.
quick. No, no, it's not.
Absolutely.
It
And
is
that's
not.
and that's I think a very, very good three tips that we can give. And it goes for lending too, because at the end, lending and real estate, I feel like they're just the same. We're just doing the loans. You guys are getting the house. I
Yeah,
make a joke that I'll get you the money, they'll get you the house. But yeah, it
yeah,
is true, because at the end of the day, we're here to serve our clients. And if they experience a good service, you'll get referral business. And that's kind of what I always go back to. I said, treat somebody like you said it earlier. And I love the way you put it. It's like, if this was my mom, if this was my loan, how would I want to be treated? How do I want my mom to be treated? So I think having that behind every time you're meeting with a new client, every time you're meeting, and same with the agents as you build your team, right? Because you want the agents to be treated as you would like to be treated when you started in the business.
exactly. All of service, and I repeat it a lot to them. Like that way, it kind of stays
Sticks,
here.
sticks.
Yeah, customer service is key, guys. So here in my office,
Uh-huh.
my staff is amazing. So
Beautiful,
the minute
amazing.
you walk in from my front desk, they'll greet you with a
Uh-huh.
smile, and then as you keep walking, everybody is greeting you with a smile, because
That's
to
amazing.
me that is customer service. Like
Yes,
people will forget the people will always remember how you made them feel. Always remember how.
absolutely.
So they could have had like something bad happen, but if they felt good with you, they'll remember that and they'll come back to you.
Yes, they will.
So I really emphasize on that, and I think that's what has made us probably be here for such a long time. Being a small boutique is that I emphasize that culture,
That
that
culture.
that that culture, that brotherhood type culture, that family culture, right? And
Mhm.
as the clients walk into the door, we like to make them feel that
Feel that.
warmth,
Have that
family.
experience. That having that experience that they leave and they know they got treated properly, and they were listened to, and
Yeah,
they were taken care of, whatever their questions were, and there is no wrong question. I always tell them the same, like, there is no wrong question. The question you might have, I might not cover it when we meet, but if you have that question, feel free to, call me, text me, and
yeah,
I'll be happy to answer it, because again, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you get all your
yeah,
questions answered, you feel comfortable
yeah,
moving forward.
yeah.
So what is one of the most important lessons you've learned over the 17-year career that you can give us today, Sandy?
The most important lesson. Okay, number one, the most important lesson is be smart with your money. Stay humble with your
God,
money.
I love that.
I think that I think that that's one thing too that I think also as real estate agents, I think we need to have more of, like more education of, okay, now I'm
Yes.
making this money. What do
What do
I
I
do
do
with
with
it?
it? How do
What
I
do I do
invest
with
it?
it?
How do I put it? It's not all to spend, right? Because we are going
Yeah,
to retire one day.
yeah, exactly. Like, what do I do with it? How do I build generational wealth with this? Because
Well,
ultimately, this is my vessel there, and I think that there needs to be more of that for us agents, because it's very easy to spend the money.
oh, totally. I'm with you on that. The
Yeah.
car, the jewelry, the bags, and
Oh
people
yeah.
just think that, oh, I make 10,000 this month, I'll make 20,000 next month. So why not
Yeah.
spend it?
Yeah, and you never know. We our business is very cyclical and very
Yes.
volatile, so we need to
hmm
be prepared for that. So definitely, that would be my biggest lesson learned.
Learn how to treat your money properly, and learn how to invest it, and prepare for the, what do they call that? Get ready for the rainy days, when you
Get ready
prepare
for the rainy
yourself.
days. Yeah, get yourself a great accountant, a great
Yes.
bookkeeper. Don't Mickey Mouse stuff. Don't like, oh, I'm gonna
Nope.
go. No, 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 no. You need to
Do
do
it the
things
right
right
way.
in the beginning. Yes,
Yes, yes. Open up a business account as a brand new agent, right?
yes. Open up your corporation from the beginning. Treat your corporation as a big $1 million institution. You have to treat
Yes.
that. You have to treat it like that.
That's amazing that you're having those talks at the beginning, because I for sure didn't have that. And I don't know about you, but I did not have anybody say those things when I got it in the business. And like you said, they're so important that we get those foundations, because it does help you get off the right track, and you can avoid having all this IRS issues when they, make, like you said, they make the good money, they spend it all, and then tax season comes around, and and now I need to pay. And
yeah.
Interesting enough,
I didn't make that much. No, that wasn't me. Trying to hide. And
then the 1099 shows up, and it shows your name on it and your number, right?
No, it's so funny, because when I give 1099s here for at the end of the year.
Yes.
Everybody's happy receiving checks, and then when their 1099 comes, they come to me. Oh, this is wrong. I'm like, oh no.
My CPA knows what they're doing. Those are the numbers. You're good.
Let's go through it. And they're convinced it's not theirs. I'm like, yeah.
Believe me, they are. That's amazing. That's amazing that you're having those conversations. I love where we're going with this. Final thoughts, anything you wanted to add to our show today? Again, the whole thing is leveling up, and I feel like you're definitely doing it with our community. You're definitely doing it with your team. You're definitely doing in that area of Bloomington. I know that you're doing amazing. I was looking at some posts you had about the production, and I'm like, kudos to you, girl. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Your team are doing amazing. So any final thoughts you want to share with us?
Well, I mean, I want to thank you again. This was amazing time. Thank you for having me here. I just want to say, that I would like more of our Latinos to come together just like we are,
yes.
And put together some sort of maybe a seminar or something in training agents to Latino that speak more Spanish than English, that need stuff translated. Put maybe an organization together or something like that. I think that would be amazing.
I'm getting chills, because that's exactly what you and I discussed when we got on the phone the other day. And I'm excited and I'm ready, and I would love to, put something together with you. Definitely. I think it's needed, and it's time for us to level up, step up, and don't wait for anybody else. If we think that it's needed, we should just go ahead and do it. So I challenge you to let's get together soon. Let's get our minds together and see what we can come up with, and put it out there. The only way we're going to be able to level up is if we do it ourselves. Don't wait for someone else to do it. We need to be the ones to start this, and just go out and put it out for the others. There's so much need, and you and I talked about it. So I'm definitely looking forward to putting something together with you. I know it's going to be amazing. So Thank you. Where can they find you? I know I have you on Facebook, but there's any specific area that you tend to be more present?
I have Instagram. Just look me up as broker Sandy Hernandez. Broker Sandy Hernandez. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook.
Amazing.
Sandy Hernandez also. So
I will go ahead and make sure that we add your contact information on our video, so they can contact you. I know there will be a lot of people wanting to talk to you, so get ready. You'll be getting new agents coming your way after having this interview and seeing what you do for them. I admire you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for making the time today. Looking forward of putting something together for our Hispanic community. So I know there's bigger things coming, and we just need to be ready to put ourselves out there and let, whatever comes our way, to be able to help other people, and whatever comes for us to be able to share with others, and just be a source of information, inspiration, and just, level up ourselves so we can do better for the ones coming behind us, and for our kids, for our families, for all of our community. Love to see more of you, Sandy. So thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, we're working on bigger stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
That time wasn't a coincidence.
No, I always say things are happening for a reason at this time. See you soon, okay? Hasta pronto. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Level Up Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere else podcasts are found, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, you can leave a 5-star review on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. Until next time, we hope you level up.